Did you know that the world you live in is filled with strange and unexplainable coincidences? The human mind has a natural inclination to seek patterns, to connect the dots, and to make sense of the seemingly random. We are often fascinated, even entranced, by the occurrence of coincidences, those strange intersections of events that seem too peculiar, too perfect to be mere chance. Coincidences can seem like magic or fate, like unseen threads weaving together the fabric of our reality. But often, they are simply the result of pure chance, or the manifestation of underlying patterns that our minds are wired to recognize. From the uncanny to the downright eerie, these unexpected alignments of circumstances captivate our imagination, prompting us to wonder about the mystery and marvel of life. So buckle up and prepare yourself for a riveting journey through the labyrinth of life's randomness. Dive into the 10 strangest coincidences in history with us. Imagine writing a novel about a maritime disaster, and 14 years later, it happens in real life. This is exactly what transpired with the author Morgan Robertson and his eerily prophetic novel, Futility. Published in 1898, the story revolves around a gigantic luxury liner named the Titan, deemed unsinkable by its creators, yet it tragically sinks after striking an iceberg. The similarities between the fictional Titan and the real-life Titanic are uncanny, right down to the details. Both vessels were described as the largest of their time, both lacked sufficient lifeboats, and most hauntingly, both met their doom in the icy waters of the North Atlantic. The parallels are so striking that one might think Robertson had a premonition, but of course it was nothing more than a coincidence, albeit a spine-chilling one. A tale of an imagined disaster became a grim prophecy of one of the most infamous tragedies in maritime history. A chilling coincidence, don't you agree? What are the odds of meeting your exact double? King Umberto I of Italy did just that. This tale takes us back to the year 1898, when King Umberto decided to dine at a small restaurant in Monza, Italy. To his astonishment, the restaurant owner was his exact mirror image, but the uncanny resemblance didn't stop at their looks. Both men were born on the same day, in the same year, in the same town. They both got married on the same day and to women with the same name. The restaurant owner even opened his establishment on the very day Umberto was crowned king. And here comes the chilling part. On July 29, 1899, King Umberto was informed that his look-alike had died in a mysterious shooting accident. Just a few hours later, King Umberto was assassinated. A doppelganger story that ends with a twist. 3 men stranded on an uninhabited island. Sounds like the start of a bad joke, right? But this tale of survival and coincidence is anything but. Picture this: 3 separate shipwrecks spanning over 2 centuries, each leaving only one survivor. The mind-boggling part? Each of these sole survivors bore the name Hugh Williams. The first recorded instance was in the mid-18th century, the second century later, and the third in the early 1900s. Each time, the ill-fated ships met their doom near the coast of Wales, their wreckage washed up on the same desolate island. Among the debris and chaos, a single man named Hugh Williams emerged as the lone survivor. The probability of such an event is astronomically low. Coincidence? Some may say so. Or perhaps there's some inexplicable cosmic force at play, favoring those named Hugh Williams. Whatever the case, one thing's for sure. Seems like the name Hugh Williams has a lucky charm attached to it. James Dean's car, the Little Bastard, seems to have had a life of its own. The silver Porsche 550 Spyder was not just the vehicle in which the young Hollywood icon tragically lost his life. It also seemed to carry a curse that affected others who came into contact with it. Following Dean's fatal crash in 1955, the car was acquired by George Barris, who later sold parts of it. The curse began to unfold when 2 doctors bought the engine and transmission. Both were involved in car crashes, one fatal. Then, a young man who bought the tires met a similar fate, with the tires mysteriously blowing out simultaneously. Even the shell of the car, while being transported, caused accidents and injuries. In the end, the Little Bastard vanished without a trace, leaving behind a chilling legacy of tragedy and mystery. From this, one can't help but wonder about the strange power objects can seemingly possess. A car with a deadly history. Separated at birth, 2 twins live eerily similar lives without ever knowing each other. This is the fascinating tale of the Jim twins, who despite growing up in completely different environments, ended up leading strikingly parallel lives. Born in Ohio in 1939, the twins, both named James, were separated just a few weeks after their birth. Each was adopted by a different family, who coincidentally both decided to name their new son James. The twins grew up oblivious to each other's existence. The parallels in their lives began to emerge as they grew older. Both Jameses pursued careers in law enforcement. One became a deputy sheriff, while the other served as a security guard. Their choices and hobbies were also remarkably similar. Both developed a passion for carpentry and mechanical drawing. Their personal lives mirrored each other as well. Each married a woman named Linda, and when those marriages ended in divorce, they both went on to marry women named Betty. And the coincidences don't stop there. Both had sons, whom they named James Allen and James Allen, but the most uncanny coincidence didn't come to light until they were 39 years old. The twins, who had been living parallel lives for nearly 4 decades, finally met each other. It was then they discovered the eerie similarities that linked them despite their separate upbringings. Their story sparked a flurry of research into the age-old debate of nature versus nurture. The Jim twins seemed to suggest that genetics might have a stronger influence on our lives than previously thought. Their parallel lives seemed to be driven more by their shared DNA than by their differing environments. The story of the Jim twins makes us question the nature versus nurture debate. Their remarkable tale serves as a reminder of how mysterious and unpredictable life can be, showing us that sometimes reality can be stranger than fiction. It leaves us pondering the profound question: how much of our lives are determined by our genes, and how much by our experiences? Astonishing, isn't it? How these coincidences seem too strange to be true. The tales we've unraveled today are not mere figments of imagination, but fragments of history that defy our understanding of probability, of reality itself. Starting with the unnerving prediction of the Titanic tragedy, a disaster of epic proportions, foretold in the pages of a novel written 14 years before the ill-fated voyage. The eerie similarities between the fictional and the real-life catastrophe, right down to the name of the ship, leaves a chill up our spine. Then we moved on to the unfortunate tale of King Umberto, a story of uncanny doppelgangers and parallel lives ending in an identical, tragic demise. The odds of such a coincidence are mind-boggling, to say the least. We also delved into the story of the 3 stranded men, a tale of survival, friendship, and a series of coincidences that led to their rescue. A story that makes you question if it was mere chance, or if there was a guiding hand at play. Next, we explored the disturbing saga of James Dean's car, a vehicle seemingly cursed, bringing misfortune to anyone who came into contact with it. It's a chilling reminder of how objects can be intertwined with destiny. And finally, the twin lives, 2 men unrelated and living miles apart, yet leading eerily identical lives. From their jobs to their wives to their sons and their end, a tale that makes us question the very fabric of reality. These coincidences, these tales of the improbable and the impossible, they shake the foundations of our understanding, pushing us to question, to wonder. They force us to acknowledge that there are things beyond our comprehension, events that can't be explained by mere chance or statistics. These coincidences remind us of the mystery and magic that still exists in our world. Until next time, keep wondering, keep questioning.